Ooh, it is finally here. It is actually happening after 7 long years. Linkin Park is back. Now, I talked about all the announcements in my previous video. You can go check that out if you want as well. And I also talked about how I checked out the actual song when they premiered it live, as well as the studio version. Now, that wasn't particularly included in the actual previous video because of copyright. But also, I wanted to just sit with the song a little bit more without like the insane inherent hype of like, oh my god, new Linkin Park with new vocalists, and actually take time to absorb the song so we can sit here and discuss, talk about it, and see what is the Emptiness machine. What is this track that people have been waiting for so many years? I mean, starting off, like the track has more of this vibe that is akin to, if I have to reference, I guess, Linkin Park specific records, Minutes to Midnight, a little bit more of the Hunting Party, a little bit of Meteora, but it's not really on that rap rock aggressiveness that, of course, classic Hybrid Theory is, or Meteora, but it's also not as soft and kind of chill as like something from One More Light, which that's definitely a much more toned down produced album. It's kind of more of like a well-balanced in the middle song. Like the song starts off with this intro drum fill with this little hi-hat hit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sounds a little funny. It's like a I know that's not the intent at all, but it has a bit of that element within it. And then we got the lo-fi drums coming in, of course, was just Mike singing purely and kind of building this anticipation to what then goes into this pre-chorus that's quite catchy, quite epic, and then this absolutely massive chorus which Mike is singing still. Again, Emily, who is the new vocalist of Linkin Park, hasn't joined in on the track yet. It's just Mike singing this massive chorus, and instantly when the chorus hits, just the chord progression and melodies, I'm like, oh my god, yep, that's Linkin Park. But what's so funny about it, so many bands have used those types of melodies now and have been akin to those types of chord progressions, like that cool major minor twist, that I think there's gonna be kids growing up nowadays from TikTok and all that and be like, yo, that's that band, what do you mean? That band, they copied that from like, Bring Me and Arcade Blast. All the millions of modern metalcore bands out there that basically use Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, and those incredible albums as just the foundation of honestly what modern metal is today, to be fair. Now, moving on from the chorus, we get to a post-chorus, which is also the verse, and it's also the bridge that comes later, except this is a naked bridge, which just has all this instant energy with guitar. The octave guitars are back, and it sounds so 2000. Again, it doesn't have like that like new metal, like groovy swagger to it 2000s. It's more like a punk alternative 2000s, like bands like almost like Rise Against is actually the first band I thought about when I heard that those like octaves come in, and Linkin Park of course uses that. They're not shy to that. I showed that in my How to Linkin Park in 30 seconds a while ago, but the part has so much energy and it's honestly just really sick. Then right after that, finally in a more clean verse, Emily comes in for the first time, and her vocals actually pop pretty well. They blend somewhat naturally. Again, it's instantly like, oh, this is a different voice. You can tell she's not trying to sound like Chester on the studio version. I think live it was a little bit of a different picture. She was singing all of the older songs as well in the older catalog that of course you have to sound like Chester, but I think on the studio version she definitely instantly sounded like herself. Like it was a different vibe completely. But she comes in and her tones are great. Her vocals are almost more akin to like Janis Joplin and the vocal style that bands like Wargasm have, like Hailstorm, even the Pretty Reckless I think is actually a pretty parallel example of that style, and also just like kind of the more rocky, edgy rockability that she brings to the band with that like gritty voice. Now it goes into the chorus again, which again, best part of the song is the massive chorus, and it's pretty massive. She fully takes this one over though, and I'm not gonna lie, after hearing Mike take the first chorus, which I think on a songwriting perspective is pretty genius, having one vocalist take the first chorus and then another vocalist take the second, which is the actual full chorus. I do really like when Mike comes in and sings the chorus, so I'd be curious to hear them both sing it together, but just hearing her, I think she does a good job. Again, she has a bit of that grit. She's not doing like a full Chester belting sing scream, but she's definitely doing a sing scream in her own style. It sounds good. It's a good melody. It does sound a bit more just because of her voice and tonality, like Pretty Reckless during the chorus mixed in with Linkin Park as things, and I think it's a nice blend. I think it does sound natural. It's fine. It's good. It's catchy, and of course in the chorus we got a classic Linkin Park like I thought, just a nice, good ass groove. Now, after the chorus, we move on to the bridge, which has a really wonderful harmonies. I think it's Mike and Emily singing both together, but nonetheless, the harmonies are really nice. And again, this bridge was a bridge that happened in the post-chorus the first time, and now it's just not a naked bridge. It's full out, it's fully evolved, and that's something I like about the song. It does actually fully evolve. Like, it starts here and the energy does consistently go up. Even though they're repeating parts, they keep adding new things to each part when a new chorus comes in or a new verse comes in, which is, it's refreshing. It's nice. It's just very well done songwriting, I guess. Then we move into the last chorus, which I would have loved to hear her and Mike go back and forth on this to kind of complete it, but it is just Emily singing this one. It sounds good. It sounds massive. And then the outro, they actually chose to go back and forth, which is nice. It's a good closer to the song. And again, it feels like the song is complete. The 3 minutes goes by pretty fast. I'm not going to lie. Now, my overall thoughts again on this song, big anticipated song. I am also a dude that grew up, Hybrid Theory, Meteora is the GOAT, is the go-to, like is respect to albums like One More Light and all of that, but that's not particularly what I go for when it comes to Linkin Park vibes. I like the more aggressive, just high energy, like youthful sound, and I do think this song has a lot of that youthful sound to it, whether it's the guitars pumping up with the octave chords or just the energy. It just feels very like upbeat, we're going, right? And that's something I really appreciate. It just sounds energetic. It sounds like, okay, this song could have been released in the 2000s, but also now, because all of the bands, like I said, basically over the last 20 years used Hybrid Theory and Linkin Park as, like, I'm sure they have just a statue they pray to every morning. I do, it's right there, of just Linkin Park. And like, it's wild that a band can still sound new with the same, with them just sounding like themselves. But it sounds like it's new, it sounds modern, but it just sounds like Linkin Park. Like, that's insane to me. I do think as a comeback track, like, this is a solid choice. It's a bit of everything. I would have liked to get a bit more of that new metal-esque vibe. Maybe if you guys want me to do a new metal cover, maybe with Andy, let me know in the comments. And again, I think the vocals are something a lot of people, as I discussed in my last video, like, it's just going to take them a second. I think Emily is a great vocalist. She has good tones. And even that type of style is not particularly something I usually go to when it comes to like that gritty Janis Joplin singing. I can appreciate it, but it's not my go-to. However, I actually think with the Linkin Park foundation of a song, which this song does sound very Linkin Park, instrumentally, no doubt. I think it does blend pretty well, surprisingly well. It's just going to be something that's really hard for people to be like, okay, this is Linkin Park, with the pure fact that you don't hear Chester's voice. I understand that. And it is what it is, right? I'm sure that the band could have spent the time and been like, okay, we want someone that can pull off exactly like Chester. I know vocalists off the top, like Andy, Danny from Ashes to New. Literally, it's insane how close some of these vocalists can sound to Chester if they want to. But I don't think that's what Linkin Park is going for. They wanted something a little bit new and different, and I can appreciate that. I am also just curious, out of pure selfishness, like out of how the song could sound with that more type of vocal. I think Emily does it well, and I think the song doesn't necessarily push away from Linkin Park more to appease Emily's vocal style. I think if anything, Emily has to adapt her vocal style a bit more to appease the instrumental in this capacity. But again, I think it is a solid track. The production is really cool too. There's a lot of tidbits of little sparkles and, again, reverses and layers that you can hear while you go along the song. But I'm more content, honestly, with just the pure songwriting perspective of how the song really does feel like it builds to this big epic moment. It makes me curious about what else is on the album. They have a new album from Zero. If it's more like this as the foundation, like, I'd be pretty happy, to be honest. Like, maybe we could do a full stream album review on Twitch when it comes out. I don't know. I don't really care, and I think most people can agree with me with Linkin Park. Like, I don't need the heaviness. Like, Hybrid Theory, sure, like a nice heavy chunky riff always can bring a nice smile to our faces, right? But it's more the energy, that high energy, that aggressive energy that doesn't have to always come from a really low-tuned heavy riff or even a breakdown or like intense screams or any of that. It's more just the pacing of the song and that youthful energy, which I do think this song has, and that makes me happy. So if the rest of the album is more akin to something like this, I think I'll be pretty happy. And again, vocally, I think it's just something that people will get used to. Okay, it's not Chester, it's a bit of a different vocal style. So after 7 years, the Emptiness Machine being the new Linkin Park track, honestly, I think it was pretty well done. I don't have many complaints. I think it has the energy. I think it's going to be something we hear the chorus to over and over and over and over again. And just like every people think everyone tries to copy Architects and the Doomsday riff, which they do. They're just gonna just keep copying Linkin Park now. I can't wait to copy Linkin Park. Let's go. Yeah, I don't know. And as the album rolls out too, again, if you guys, we'll be checking it out on Twitch, but hey, if copyright's the thing, which obviously it is, we'll maybe do reviews for the songs, but we'll definitely do a review for the album if you guys want, because yeah, this is fun, and there's some, like, I want to talk about the song even if it's not something I can show you guys. So hey, go listen to the song. Comment below. What do you think of the song? Do you hate it? Are you pissed at the world? Did you never even like Linkin Park? Do you love it? Are you like, yeah, this is the best thing I've ever heard in a while? Let me know your thoughts down below. And I was wearing this the whole time. Okay, bye. I just realized.